Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today, we're jumping into a topic that gets a lot of buzz. Intermittent fasting, IF.
Yeah,
And it's interesting because it's not really about what you're eating, is it? It's more about when.
exactly. The timing is key. And fundamentally, it taps into this biological process called metabolic switching.
Metabolic switching.
So
okay.
it's like your body uses up its easily accessible sugar fuel.
Right, from your last meal.
And then, well, it has to switch. It starts burning stored fat for energy instead.
Yeah.
And this process creates ketones.
Ketones. Got it. So our mission today is really to unpack that for you, the science behind it, what the potential benefits are, and also, importantly, what you need to watch out for.
Absolutely. That switch, it typically happens after, say, 12 to 18 hours of not eating. Your body gets increasingly reliant on fat. And these ketone bodies, they're actually a very efficient fuel source, even for the brain. Some people report feeling, sharper.
And that's not all, right? There's something happening at the cellular level, too, autophagy.
Ah, yes, autophagy. It literally means self-eating. Think of it like your cells doing housekeeping, cleaning out damaged parts, recycling components.
Wow.
Fasting seems to give that process a real boost, which is pretty important for overall cellular health.
Okay, so let's talk benefits. Weight loss is often the first thing people mention.
Yeah, it often comes up. And IF can help simply by limiting the time you have to eat, potentially leading to fewer calories consumed overall.
Naturally creating a deficit.
Right. And a potential advantage over just cutting calories is that some studies suggest IF might be better at helping preserve muscle mass while losing fat.
Interesting. And beyond weight, what about metabolic health?
That's where it gets really compelling for many. We often see improvements in insulin sensitivity, how well your body responds to insulin.
Which impacts blood sugar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Better blood sugar control, potentially lower fasting glucose, lower HbA1c levels.
Whoa.
Those are really key markers. Plus, potentially positive effects on blood pressure and cholesterol. And some research even points towards cognitive benefits, maybe boosting something called BDNF.
Brain-derived neurotrophic factor, like fertilizer for the brain.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Supports neuron growth.
Yeah.
And possibly reducing inflammation throughout the body, too. Lots of potential angles.
So if someone's interested, how do they actually do IF? It's not just one thing, is it?
No, not at all. It's really an umbrella term. Probably the most common approach is the 168 method.
Right. 16 hours fasting, 8-hour eating window.
Yep. Or there's the 5.2 diet, eating normally 5 days a week, and then having, say, only 500 or 600 calories on 2 non-consecutive days.
Different patterns.
Exactly. But, and this is critical, what you eat during your eating window really, really matters.
So it's not a license to eat junk food for 8 hours.
Definitely not. You still need to focus on nutrient-dense whole foods. Fruits, vegetables, lean protein, healthy fats, the good stuff. And hydration is key. Water throughout the day.
Avoid the processed stuff. Sugary drinks.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That undermines the potential benefits.
Makes sense. Now, what about side effects, especially for people just starting out?
Yeah, there can be an adjustment period. It's pretty common to feel more hungry initially, maybe some fatigue, headaches, perhaps a bit moody even.
But that usually passes.
Often, yes,
Yeah?
as the body adapts. However, and this is a big caveat, however, IF is absolutely not for everyone.
Okay, this is important. Who should avoid it?
Well, definitely anyone with a history of eating disorders. That's a major contraindication. Also, pregnant or breastfeeding women, children, adolescents, their nutritional needs are different.
Right.
And it's generally not recommended for people with type 1 diabetes. For type 2 diabetes, it must be medically supervised because of the risk of blood sugar dropping too low, which can be dangerous.
Okay, very clear warnings there. And recently there was some concerning news, something about heart health.
Yes, that definitely caught people's attention. It was preliminary data, observational data, suggesting a possible link, not proven cause and effect, mind you, between following a strict 8-hour eating window and a higher risk of death from cardiovascular disease in some adults.
Wow, okay. That sounds serious.
It does. And while we need much more research, rigorous controlled studies to understand what's really going on there, if anything, it really highlights the need for caution. It emphasizes that this isn't necessarily benign for everyone, and long-term effects aren't fully understood. Individual assessment, talking to your doctor, that's crucial.
So putting it all together, how does IF stack up against, say, just traditional dieting, cutting calories consistently?
When you look at the current research overall, IF often produces similar results for weight loss and metabolic improvements as standard calorie restriction. It's not always a magic bullet that's vastly superior.
It's just a different way to get there, perhaps.
Exactly. It can be a valid tool for some people, but it works best, I think, when it's part of a bigger picture.
Right.
Like combining it with a healthy eating pattern overall. Think Mediterranean diet components plus regular exercise, good sleep. It's about a sustainable, healthy lifestyle, not just one single trick.
So it's complex. There's science, potential upsides, but also real risks and unknowns, especially highlighted by that recent cardiovascular data. The takeaway seems to be informed, be cautious.
And talk to a professional.
Absolutely. Talk to a healthcare provider to see if it even makes sense for your individual situation.
And maybe a final thought to leave people with. Considering how we have these age-old practices like fasting, and then this constantly emerging, sometimes conflicting science, how do we best navigate that? How do we blend wisdom from the past with modern research to make truly informed choices for our health today?
That's a great question to ponder. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.